Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Girl, grab the bottle. No, the whole bottle. You are going to need it, and I am going to need, like, 3 of them just to get through this story without screaming into a pillow. You know how I've been feeling weird about things with Mark lately? Like, I couldn't put my finger on it, but the vibe has been off. Well, the vibe isn't just off. The vibe has left the building, got in a car, and driven off a cliff. I finally figured out what is happening, and it is honestly so twisted that I feel like I'm losing my mind. We went out to dinner the other night, just a normal Tuesday, nothing fancy. We walk into the restaurant, the hostess takes us to our table, and it's a booth. You know me, I love a booth. It's cozy, I can put my bag down, it's just instinct. So I slide into the booth seat. I didn't think about it. I didn't calculate the velocity of my slide. I just sat down. Mark looks at me, and instead of sitting down opposite me with a smile, he gives me this look. This cold, tight-lipped look. And he goes with this passive-aggressive little chuckle. Must be nice to be so considered. You really just ran for that booth, huh? Like you always do. I froze. I'm holding my menu, looking at him like he has 3 heads. I'm thinking, are we fighting over a bench seat? But it wasn't a joke. The whole dinner, I felt like I was dining with a parole officer instead of my boyfriend. So later, we get home, and I couldn't take it anymore. I was about to snap. I sat him down and said, "Look, what is going on? Because I feel like I'm constantly doing something wrong, and I don't even know what it is." And girl, the floodgates opened. But not in the way you'd think. He admitted to something that honestly makes my blood run cold. He admitted that he filters every single thing I do through a lens of suspicion. I'm not exaggerating. He told me to my face that when he feels insecure, which is apparently often, he starts actively looking for proof that I don't love him. He starts hunting for evidence that I am taking more than I am giving. It's like he turns into a detective, but a detective who has already decided I'm guilty and is just trying to plant the DNA at the crime scene. He calls it confirmation bias, which is a very therapy word way of saying, I am sabotaging us. Take the booth thing. In his head, me sliding into the booth wasn't just me sitting down. It was proof that I am a selfish taker who doesn't consider his comfort, who always puts herself first, and who expects him to suffer on the uncomfortable chair while I lounge like a queen. Can you believe that reach? He took a 2-second action and turned it into a character indictment. And wait until you hear what he said about my cooking compliments. You know he cooks, right? And he's good at it. I always say thank you. I always say it's delicious. Apparently that is not enough. He told me he doesn't feel seen or appreciated when he cooks because my thank you isn't specific enough. I'm sitting there on the couch, staring at him, thinking, do I need to write a Yelp review for every Taco Tuesday? Do I need to draft a press release about the texture of the risotto? He feels like if I don't break down the flavor profile and praise his knife skills, then I'm just taking his labor for granted. It's exhausting. He went into this whole backstory about how he has a history of feeling exploited in relationships. He has these deep self-worth issues where he feels like people only love him for what he provides. His money, his lifestyle, his cooking, whatever. And look, I get that. But he is projecting that baggage onto me so hard I'm practically suffocating. He has this narrative in his head that I'm only with him because I don't want to be single. Girl, you know me, I make my own money, I was perfectly fine being single, but he doesn't believe it. Even when I say I love you, he questions the why. He thinks she loves me because I fixed her car. He can't accept that I just love him as a human being, and because he can't accept it, he tests me, constantly. I realize during this conversation that I have started shrinking. I'm walking on eggshells. I've started performing this exaggerated warmth just to avoid being audited. If I'm quiet in the car, I have to worry. Is he going to think I'm ignoring him? If I choose the movie we watch, am I dominating the relationship? It is psychological torture. I feel like I am losing my sense of self because my character is constantly under indictment for things that are just normal human moments. When he finally admitted it, I said I would try to make him feel more loved. But even as I said it, there was this voice in my head screaming, this is a trap. Because how can I fill a bucket that has a hole in the bottom? If he is determined to see me as the villain, nothing I do will ever be enough. He sits there with this wounded look, talking about how he's always the one giving, Meanwhile, I am twisting myself into a pretzel trying to accommodate his neuroses. He needs therapy. But instead, he's using me as his punching bag for all his past relationship trauma. Part of me wants to stay and help him because I know he's struggling. But the other part of me, the part that is tired of shrinking, is screaming, "Run. Am I the crazy one? Can you shift a person's default setting from suspicion back to trust? Because if I have to constantly audition for the role of good girlfriend, I don't think I can survive it. Pour me another glass."